Beautiful people, we are live from the Men's Gather Festival. People have been shooting shotguns, we're going cold water dipping, we're about to have a cacao ceremony. You can see this beautiful teepee. We're doing a Lakota tribe style sweat lodge called the Inipi. We're going to be camping, hanging out, having a beautiful time. All guys coming together to remember what it means to be a man. Men from all different walks of life. We're here in Workington, in nature, on a farm. A lot of the guys are farmers or from farming families. You know, strong hands that have done a lot of work in their lifetime. There's a lot of elders here, which is a really nice thing. This is the second Men's Gather Festival, and it came last year and it was beautiful, but last year it was raining, it was like torrential, and a lot of the people didn't show up. Why? Because they didn't like the rain. They were worried about camping or the wind or something. But this time the weather's beautiful and we've had an even bigger turnout, and you might be able to just see in the background the Inipi Sweat Lodge. So tomorrow we're going to go cold water swimming, and someone was saying, well, what happens if it rains? Well, if it rains, then that's warrior training. Let me know if you're into the cold water immersion. Let me know if you've tried that. So we are here for the 3 days. It's Friday, we're here Saturday, we're here Sunday. There is potential if you'd like to come on one of the days, just let me know. Maybe on Sunday if you want to come spend a day with the guys. There's air rifles, archery, all sorts of stuff, whatever you can think of. There's beautiful food, warm showers. So this is a really beautiful idea put on by an amazing sister called Jet. It was actually a lady who came up with this idea during lockdown to bring guys together for mental health reasons, for spiritual health reasons, for brotherhood, for camaraderie. It's a big part of what I do. I've been running men's circles. I think I ran my first one about 5 years ago. Regular men's circles, brothers just getting together, and then that was in London. I moved to Manchester, I started another men's circle, brought the brothers together, and just recently I got this idea. Maybe you'll like this. I bought a website, consciouskings.co.uk, and consciouskings.co.uk will be a training site. We're just developing it now for men to develop into their king archetype. If you've never looked at archetypes before, you have the warrior, the lover, the king, and if you just think what that means to like embody being in your king, or to embody being in your warrior, or to embody being in your lover, or your joker. And there's so many different types of these archetypes. You can go deep into it, but Conscious Kings will be a training site for people who aren't yet in their king energy. You know, maybe a lot of guys on the planet right now, we're just figuring that out, right? How do you be a king? Maybe we're working a job we don't want to work. Maybe we've got some mental health issues. Maybe our body isn't where we want it to be. Maybe we've got physical health issues, or our heart's closed because of trauma. And we just did a beautiful opening ceremony, and I was speaking around the fire, and I'm running a workshop tomorrow around Curate, and I was talking about trauma, and a lot of guys, they don't talk about that. Last year there was this amazing workshop. There's a group here, if you're based near Workington, I think it's called Mind Your Maras, and it's just Maras means friends in Workington language, and they get together and they talk about mental health, because suicide is a big issue in this area, big issue all around the world, right? So Mind Your Maras, get your friends together, create men's circles. Any one of you watching this can create a circle. And I actually love what Brother Jake does with the Illuminate, because he does the men's circles in one room, Jules runs the women's circles in another room, beautiful sister Jules, and then they do this unification circle. And the unification circle is a genius idea. This is so part of the tantric teachings, if you've ever studied tantra. the men raise their energy in one space, the women raise their energy in another space, and then you come together. And the polarity, if you've never looked up the word polarity before, meditate on polarity. What does that mean? Polarity is the energy I get with my wife where she can't keep her hands off me, right? It's like you just magnetize to each other. North and South Pole, just boom, massive attraction. And this is what's missing a lot in our society right now. I didn't think I was going to go this deep, but here we are. I've been running workshops on this for like 5 years. I have a company called the Academy of Conscious Sexuality. You can go on our Facebook group, Academy of Conscious Sexuality, just type that in. Come and join, we talk about all this kind of stuff. Polarity is really important. I was in a relationship and we didn't have polarity. My partner was in a job where, had to do some quite masculine stuff. I was in a job where I was talking all of the time. So we'd come back and we would both not be in our dominant energy. We wouldn't be in our strong energy. And it's nothing to do with being a man or a woman or having a penis or having a vagina. You get some people that are... This is this amazing thing. I don't know if you've ever looked into this. This is a life changer for me. If you type in online, a controversial thing I'm about to say, potentially. If you look at how tribes use genders, a lot of tribes all over the world actually have 5 genders. Different, hey? So you have people with penises that have very masculine energy. They might typically go and be your hunters and your security people and warriors and whatever. You would have people with penises who have very effeminate energy. They're not very well suited to going and hunting and playing sports and that kind of thing, right? Different energy. You then have genderless people with no particular sway. They're just like in the middle. You'd have people with vaginas who have very feminine energy. You'd have people with vaginas who have very masculine energy. Some of the best race car drivers in the world are women. Some of the best fashion designers in the world are men, right? It's not about whether you have a penis or a vagina. It's like your spirit, your soul comes through, I believe. This is how I see it anyway. We have this essence. I'm sometimes very masculine, very in my warrior, very in my king. Sometimes I'm super in my feminine energy. Again, it's not about man or woman. I love writing poetry. I love singing songs. The masculine is like the structure. It's like the riverbanks. The feminine is like the water. It's like the flow. You have to have the banks of the river for the feminine to flow. So the structure allows the flow to happen. And when you are in your dominant energy, whether you're dominantly masculine or dominantly feminine or non-binary, you're in the middle. Once you know that and you tailor your lifestyle in a way that lets you be that, you will have polarity in so many areas, and polarity creates magic. So much energy, so much momentum, things happen. So if you're feeling like you don't have a lot of energy, if you're feeling like, for example, when I go to the gym or something and I I've done a big workout, I come back a lot of polarity with my wife. Or if she goes and she does some kind of dancing, right, and comes back, she's very flowy and in her feminine, hugely attractive. It's the law of attraction uses this attraction to like bring people together. And there's a lot of confusion in the world right now. A lot of people lost and confused about where they fit in society because we label everything as man or woman, right? And in the other tribes they don't do that. I'm not saying what is good or bad or right or wrong. I'm just saying, I remember at school I was in the rugby team. Remember there were some guys did not want to play rugby. They didn't like fighting, they didn't like violence, they didn't want to get hit. They were not the warrior types, but they were still guys. They had penises, right? They were very valid, beautiful people, but in our school system we make them do these things, whereas in the tribes they would never make you do that. They would never force someone who didn't want to play a violent sport to play a violent sport, because that's cruel. Different way to think and be, hey? Look it up, just type in like 5 genders, tribes, all different tribes all around the world. And this is a big thing right now, and again. So I said it's controversial, right? There's a whole movement at the moment to like confuse people, and yeah, I'm just conscious. I just realised I'm on Facebook and I don't want to get my account deleted again. So I will be careful what I say, but what I will say is helping people to find out who they really are once the programming has gone. If you're a lady, if you're a feminine energy, if you're soft and flowy, if you're like really in that and you're made to do a masculine corporate job, I worked in corporate for 5 years, it will suck the soul out of you. Because if you are in a masculine dominated environment, targets and deadlines and like, that's not the feminine flow way. And if you've never looked this up before, I'm going to drop something that will change your life. So our world at the moment is primarily set up in a patriarchal way. Even God is made into a man, right? It's wild, but it wasn't always like that. The world used to actually be a matriarchy. Women were the rulers. People thought God was a feminine energy. And I use the word God loosely to represent whoever or whatever you call the energy that creates everything. Whatever you call that thing that makes an apple seed into an apple tree and makes an apple tree make apples every year. I'm supposed to be setting up my tent right now, by the way. I've got about 15 minutes until the cacao ceremony starts, but I'm just in it. I hope you're enjoying it. Let me know in the comments if this is fun, if this is expansive. Look up the matriarchy. Women were like the rulers and men were basically used for heavy lifting and reproduction. And guys didn't like that, so they revolted, they rebelled, and they started making these stories up, and they used words to change the way the culture was into a patriarchy. Very fascinating. And they maneuvered God into being a man, and it's a whole thing. And then now we're in this, or we have been typically, but I think it's really shifting now. We're in this place where, certainly when I grew up, there was this men are superior, women are like inferior kind of energy. Almost unspoken, but sometimes spoken. The man was in charge and the woman did what she said. Most of the time. My mum was not like that, by the way. My mum, if someone tells her what to do, she'd tell them where to go, because she's got a lot of that masculine, like strong, no one pushed her around, which is beautiful, and I have that in me. So we're moving now into a time, this rise of the feminine, and it's a beautiful thing. And hopefully, here's the potential. This is what I've done on my journey. Okay, open your hearts, open your minds, open your ears for this. Take a deep breath in and out. There's something called integrating your masculine and feminine energy, and you can come into this balance, this harmony. When you're masculine and feminine, your light and your shadow, they are in harmonization. If you've never looked up before, this is in my book and it's in the quantum regression course. This is one of the things I'm going to teach about tomorrow in the Curate workshop. I'm going to teach about how you can harmonize your heart and your brain, emotion and logic. You have a literal neural network between your brain and your heart. Inside your heart you have 40,000 things called sensory neurites. They're a physical thing. They can think, learn and act independently, just like brain neurons. You can go look all this up, by the way. Greg Braden talks about this a lot. And the Institute of Heart Math. Harmonizing your heart and your brain, harmonizing your masculine and your feminine, makes you an integrated being, and then you are powerful. You are incredibly powerful. So I'm here at the Men's Gather Festival. Maybe come join us on Sunday if that feels right. Just drop a message, I'll send you some details. I'm going to build up my masculine. I'm going to be with these warriors. We're going to do shotguns, and we've got combat training, and we've got you can drive tractors, and you can I'm going to teach about DNA activation and how they can use quantum regression to heal, cure. It's called Curate, Q-R-I-T. If you've seen me posting about it, Curate, and when I channeled it, it was how you can cure anything using Curate. Physical health, mental health, emotional, spiritual, especially trauma is a great one. Any blocks you've got around money, any blocks you've got around your family, One of the biggest things I help people with are blocks around their heart that is stopping them from loving. If you feel like your heart is not fully open, if you feel like you don't love fully, trust fully, if you're not able to surrender, come and do Cure It. The link is above somewhere. Come and join the course. It's just £222. You'll learn the whole thing. It takes 6 hours, and then you get unlimited sessions for life. This is the biggest thing. I don't know any other course that does this. Unlimited one-on-one sessions for life with other graduates. You basically never need to pay for healing again. You never need to pay for therapy again. Right? Just from this one course for £222. And then you'll be a practitioner. You'll have a tool for life. That's what I'm going to run a workshop on tomorrow. I'm going to put up a massive tent in the next 10 minutes before the cacao ceremony. And I've got my beautiful soul brother here who's had to put his tent up by himself because I got carried away on a Facebook Live. Do you want to say hi?
How's it going?
This is Sam Boomer. If you don't know Sam Boomer yet, you're about to get to know him really, really well. Sam is an absolute wizard. He's a quantum hypnotherapist. He does these incredible sessions. I had one with him. He made me cry, made me laugh, big life realizations. He's a master with the fire. He's about to launch a new program, so we'll talk more about that later. And he's going to come share some wisdom at the festival. He's going to drop some knowledge bombs on all the guys here. Probably he's going to teach them how to set up a tent. Look at that. Look at Sam in action. You're going to see real manly action. Look at this. He's going to... Oh, wow. Look at this. This is manly. Go on, Sam. Go on. Let us know how he did out of 10. Alright, I really need to go. I just love flowing with you all. Let me know what you think in the comments. Tag anyone who you think might need to know this. Share this out far and wide. Join the Academy of Conscious Sexuality. Come join our Cure It tribe. consciouskings.co.uk. If you want to step into your kingship, or if you are in your kingship, here's the thing. What's it like when you hang around someone who is powerful? What's it like when you hang around someone who's integrated their masculine and feminine? What's it like when you're with someone who's in their king or their queen archetype? It's wonderful, isn't it? It's inspiring. It lifts you up. It's like, whew, when someone's got all of their parts like clicked into place, or at least a lot of the parts. There's levels to it. I have days. I've had one of the best weeks of my entire life, by the way. I've really clicked something magical into place. I did a ceremony this week, and life changed. I feel very powerful right now, and I wish that for you all. I wish that for you all. I do. I just announced today, you might have seen it, my 6-month mentorship is coming to a close on Monday, so I'm taking on the last few people for that. My business is booming right now. I'm fully booked for sessions until the 11th of May. So there are a few spots. If you are thinking about working together for 6 months, drop me a message. Check out the post I wrote. On Monday, that is changing, that is evolving. Life is going to a whole next new level. Sending you lots of love. Have a beautiful day, night, wherever you are. Go do the work. Go do the work.